Hello, welcome back to the RCT Show. My name is Corey.
And my name is Jan. Welcome back.
All right, so what fun cycling topics are we discussing today?
Yeah, so this is our third episode. Welcome,
yeah.
welcome back. Thank you for still being here or being here again being here for the first time. As usual, we record this episode after our weekendly RCT coffee ride.
It was a lovely ride today, yeah. Weather was wasn't the prettiest of days, but
it was changing.
A little windy, yeah.
We did start in very nice weather.
That's true.
From Prague.
Yeah.
We left out of the city on the river, took a climb away, and then continued through the South
hills.
Prague rolling hills.
Oh yeah,
very nice landscape.
It was a beautiful landscape, absolutely. Yeah.
Also for me, some new roads that I didn't go before.
Same.
And the further we came east, the more windy and cloudy it got.
Yeah.
So it got a bit chilly, and symbolizing that, I'm wearing the wind vest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very, very, very important. Yeah.
Because we come real, straight after the ride.
Oh yeah, a little hypoxic, a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
But today was good though. I felt good today. Yeah.
Yeah, we still in kit.
Yes.
How we arrived with vest and everything.
This is the norm. Yeah.
Yeah, we keep it real.
We do.
Yeah. So lovely ride. And great coffee stop again.
Oh yeah.
Went to the same place as last week because it was so nice.
Yeah. No, it was it was nice to also just sit inside the warm.
Today we needed
blankets.
to sit inside.
Yeah.
It was like if you were moving, it was warm enough with shorts.
Yeah.
But just sitting, you got cold. So we sat inside, had some blankets.
Yeah, had some nice cake, nice coffee. Yeah.
Bagel.
Oh, you had a bagel. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And, so shout out to Cafe 1888 in Yevani.
Okay, yeah.
And then also very nice. We had a new teammate today on the ride.
Yeah, she was going to join our podcast episode, right? But I think she had to.
Yeah, something got in between.
Something happened. We're not sure. Yeah.
But next time maybe we will see. But yeah, we have a new teammate. Was her first proper ride today.
Yeah, after a newly purchased bike too.
We were maybe a bit, or I was maybe a bit ambitious with the distance.
Yeah, what do we say? 100 kilometers or so. Yeah, with the rolling hills. But with the second half was mostly fine. But maybe I guess like the weather. I mean, the weather did cooperate with us. It did get a little windy, like you had said. But I think perhaps we were a little ambitious.
I was a bit ambitious. Yeah, the route would have been 104, but then that was from the meeting point. So at the end, it would have been more like 115 or something.
But yes,
and then the way back with headwind and.
Yeah,
it was a bit over ambitious.
That's okay. We
but I knew like before that she was fit. She's running and and she still did 95 at the end.
Yeah, so excellent.
That's still
it's remarkable.
That's great.
Absolutely,
not many people go 95 on their first ride.
This is true. I think well, last year when we were out to Dresden, that was my first ride. That was hard, but I think it's not. I think at that time you weren't overly ambitious, but I think myself, I was a little confident, maybe too confident. Like, oh yeah, I can do it. But eating properly is important too, and of course, like it takes months to build your stamina. And a lot of training. So
yeah, but we're happy that she's joining.
Yeah, so
looking forward for the next time, especially as we are desperately searching for more female riders on the team.
Yeah, so that was our first female rider in it's been a while. Been a while, yeah.
Last summer, maybe.
But that's okay. We are definitely happy to have Magda. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
So shout out, great job.
Yeah, good job, Magda.
Yeah, there was the ride today. Great.
Yeah.
Great ride as usual. Great people.
Yeah.
Always fun. And some other people were riding today in Spain.
Yes, this is true. Yeah. Tell us a little more about that.
Just before the recording, we watched the highlights, so we are up to date.
You can say that, yes.
Of the Vuelta de Catalonia.
Well, yeah. Is it? I guess technically it's in Catalan, right? Volta.
Vuelta.
Oh, it doesn't. It's fine. They understand.
Catalonian tour.
There you go.
So today, last stage, and Primož Roglič won. We just watched it. He ascended on the last climb and held the distance.
And do you know like the specific climb, or is it just like the? Because I lived in Barcelona for a year or so.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. Okay, I didn't know if it was like famous or like.
No.
Because I think they ended at Montjuic, which is like there's this little castle in Barcelona. That's like I think one of the higher like I guess probably it might be the highest spot in Barcelona, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we might have to rewatch.
Yeah. Okay. So we just literally had watched the highlights.
Yeah, we just watched the highlights so we can talk about it.
I didn't know if you knew or not. Okay.
No,
but,
I don't know that.
I mean, their weather looks beautiful. Detail. Like Spain weather right now.
They had
like
good
gorgeous.
weather.
Yeah.
Not as windy as we had today.
No. Yeah. But they had a lot of sun. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, Spain, they have a bit better weather.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that is that. Congrats. Shout out to Primož Roglič, who is listening. Maybe you can secure us a Red Bull sponsorship. That would be great.
Yes, please. I love Red Bull. I drink it daily almost. keeps us going.
Keeps us going, Medical school, you do need the caffeine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Those early mornings, absolutely. So yeah, that was exciting too.
Yeah, so this is some race news. Yesterday or Friday, I forgot, but was the E3 prize, or what it's called, so a smaller, not a monument, but a cobblestone race in Belgium.
Oh, cobblestone, huh?
Yeah, the Belgium classic races.
That sounds
cobblestone.
Yeah, not great.
It's
okay.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
I went to Vlaanderen.
Okay.
2 summers ago, and we tried out those cobblestone roads around Oudenaarde, especially. There's a hotspot.
Okay.
And it's not that fun to ride. Like, you really have to go basically full gas. So you have fly over the cobble. So it's what Mathieu van der Poel, who won that race in the end.
Okay.
Does the best, I guess. He won.
He's like the fastest it can go across. Like literally, like you literally have to go across him as fast as you
just
can.
Push it.
Is the whole thing? Is it like, or just one segment?
It's usually segments.
Segment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds bad.
Yeah, we know cobblestone.
No, yeah, Prague is full of them. So we tend to avoid the streets that have them. But of course you have to go over them.
And most of the Prague cobblestone is better.
Really?
Than that cobblestone.
Huh.
Like, especially when you then get into Paris-Roubaix kind of territory, which is this one of the monuments. Is in France.
Okay.
Paris. There are cobblestone segments, it's basically dirt where you threw some cobblestones on it when it was wet.
This is very yep. Okay.
And now it's kind of lying there and you have to ride over it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would go there again. It's a nice landscape.
Okay.
But I would either go with a gravel bike.
Yeah, okay.
Or with a bike I don't have to pay for myself.
Yes. So okay, I agree. Let's do that trip, but rent bikes there or something.
No, but like if you're a pro who doesn't have to pay for its own equipment, I guess it's fine. It's still not comfortable, but at least you don't have to be afraid of your bike breaking apart.
Yeah. Do the tires do they like go flat more often on public like these races?
Yeah, like at Paris-Roubaix you can like watch like videos of it, where the tire flies off the wheel.
Oh, wow. So when you said
the whole wheel crumbles up.
So when you said breaking apart, like literally they just break apart. Okay.
Yeah, the equipment is There's also, I don't know if at any other races the support staff is like standing at the side of the road with wheels.
Oh, really?
Like whole wheels ready to go. Change the whole wheel.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, that's funny. But this is the so this race though is called, what is it called?
Like E3
E3
prize or something.
Okay, and Vanderpool won that.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. So relating to that, how does a cyclist like choose which race they're going to be a part of? I know you have to have like your like their license and stuff, like as we discussed previously. But
yeah.
But then, is there an advantage over doing one race over another, or like why did he not choose to do like the Vuelta Catalonia, for instance?
Well,
how does it work?
Mainly the team decides who goes where.
Oh, really? Okay, so
I think the riders can maybe like wish for a few races throughout the year which they would like to go to, if they have like a home race or something.
Okay.
But the team decides who goes where.
Okay.
But also, based on the capabilities or like skills of the rider.
Okay.
Like Mathieu van der Poel is a classic rider.
Okay.
Like his favorite terrain are these.
Oh, he is.
These 1 day races.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And if you have a GC rider, like we had now in the Catalonia, Roglic, Ayuso, I guess Ayuso was second. They go to stage races, and all the riders have their skills.
Okay.
And the team.
So the team will send. Okay. So they're not always together, for instance, but they'll have like a rider here, a rider there.
Like a whole squad, they send to each race.
Okay, I see. A squad. Okay, so a squad. Okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, I never really thought about that either. So, okay, well, something new.
Yeah, I think one team has. I'm very much not sure, but I believe it's 30 riders. Each team has.
Wow. Okay.
Or is allowed to have up to 30 riders, and then you send 6, 7, 8 riders.
Okay. To like a single race or something.
To one race.
So how many riders do we have now?
We?
Yeah.
Now we need to form a race squad, I would say, like 7 guys or something.
7 guys, okay.
Okay. I think we could.
Yeah, you could probably muster up something.
I think we could get together 7 guys.
Okay. Anywho, well, yeah, that's maybe a little further down the road.
When the Spolek is done.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. on the Spolek topic,
yeah,
we were productive again this week.
Yeah, no.
After the email, or like it's like a government kind of email came back that they want the papers physically and the signatures verified.
Yes, check for accuracy.
We went with our papers to the post office.
Sat there for a while.
To the lady, after waiting for a while, and then she watched us sign everything, and then she stamped the signatures, put like stickers in it, put it in a book. We had to pay €10 each.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was like Trinity Crowns. Yeah, no.
So we had our all the papers now verified signatures.
Yep.
And then 2 days later, I went with Matthias to the courthouse.
Yeah. How's that?
Gave them the papers, and there was nothing. We were expecting something.
Like, you didn't pay for anything, or so like all the payments were done?
We only, Matthias was talking in Czech.
And you were sitting there.
I was moral support.
That's important. We gotta do that. We're good team members.
Yeah, and but there was we basically did nothing. Yeah, we gave her the papers here for the Spolek, and she took them. I don't know if she checked if it's like complete, if it's correct or anything. I hope.
I guess you'll find out soon enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're waiting again.
Okay. And so like when I applied for my like residence permit here, you can check the status of your application online. Did they give you like a code?
Nothing.
Okay. So. Okay, well, never mind.
We are waiting. We're also not sure how they will contact us.
Anyways, okay.
But I hope they will contact Matthias through that government email system.
Yeah, that I would hope so. Okay, well,
yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, we are excited about this Spolek. I hope that it will happen soon.
Yeah. So, in other news, did we finish did you have anything more to say about like the E3 race? Cobblestone?
No, that was all.
So
Van der Poel won.
Okay, yeah, so cool.
Alone breakaway.
What's the what's like the prize for like winning races? Is it like is it
20,000 euros?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, goes to the team. I don't know if that might have been. I just saw a post. I think it was like 20,000 for Milan Sanremo, what we watched last week. So like one of the monuments might be 20,000. Probably the rest is not that much.
Okay, but otherwise, like the cyclists mostly get paid through like sponsors and like their team that they're part of.
Yeah, I think the prize money goes to the team.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a team effort. Yeah. Okay, very cool.
I assume they have like like in their contracts like bonuses for wins.
Okay,
but they don't keep the prize money.
Yeah, because I don't really like think of like. I guess with Lance Armstrong, because that's my only like like with his always like who's his sponsor and stuff like
he was like in the U.S. Post.
Yeah, the Post. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, but my point is like I don't really associate. Like, do cyclists really get paid that much? You know what I mean? It's like when you compare to like NBA or like football or football players.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Probably not as much. I think they can live well, like the world tour ones.
Okay.
With the women, it's always like a topic, that they get enough.
Yeah. Is it equal?
I don't think it's equal, but it's getting better.
Okay, that's good. I think across the sports world, I mean, there's still a lot of disparities with that, but
but the top riders, they're probably pretty rich.
Okay,
like Mathieu van der Poel is also sponsored by Lamborghini.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
He's Richard Mill, I think.
Do
you know?
No.
Watch company. He's wearing the watch during the race.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like a fancy like sports watch, or is it just like
it's a fancy watch?
Just a fancy like watch. Okay, that I would wear like while I'm cycling. Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I was just curious because I never really thought of like, yeah, like when you think of like cyclists, like in my brain, I just don't have that association.
I think like
it makes more sense.
The World Tour riders, they are all probably like fine. Probably not rich, but fine. And then the top guys, they're rich.
Yeah. That checks out across any sport.
Like especially if they get like sponsorship deals on the side. Like Demi Vollering, who's like one or maybe the most successful female cyclist right now. She has like a Nike deal.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. I see. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, no, that was just my related thought, or just a thought. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah, do they even earn enough?
But honestly though, yeah, I mean,
can Mathieu put food on the table?
Oh no, I never doubted that, but yeah.
I think he can.
Okay, yeah,
he will be fine.
He's probably okay.
Yeah, and so now we had some race news. I picked up a few more like industry news, more like 2 new bikes.
Okay.
So you're familiar with Decathlon?
Yeah, I am. Yes, that's actually the. That's the inventory where my equipment
show your
comes
shorts.
From.
So,
yes,
you can see here.
I went to Decathlon last week.
Van Rysel, Van Rysel, however you might pronounce it.
No, but I like their their boobs are really nice. Yeah, it's a good size, good fit.
Yeah, and speaking of Van Rysel, they just released a new bike. It was already seen for half a year. Like the team started riding it in the summer sometime, but they released now an aero bike, top end aero bike. Okay. I think the top model with Dura Ace and the top components costs 9,500 euros, or maybe 10, something like that. I saw someone in.
Yeah, okay.
It is already up there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much the normal, like the climbing bike costs. Probably a little bit less.
Okay.
But like I think I was briefly talking about it with Honza on the ride today, who used to work at Decathlon.
Yeah.
And also used to have one of their bikes when it was like still called B-Twin and not Van Rysel yet.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, it was like what, like €9,500. You know, this it's not Decathlon bikes anymore.
No, yeah,
they used to be affordable.
Right, because I'm thinking, like, who's that targeting? You know, like, who's going to buy that bike? Right, like semi-pros. Like, I feel like pros like have their own.
Yeah, French people.
Wow.
Patriotic
It is French
people.
Okay, that's fair.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, because like it's fine. They can build an expensive bike if they want. They also, like, since they have the pro team, you know, they need to supply something to them.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense for at least for the pros. But I feel like for amateur cyclists like myself, like, I would say even like I don't know, like €1,000 bike would probably do me okay, right?
There is certainly the market. Like, there are also people who will buy the top end S-Works and spend like 16,000-17,000 euros on that bike. I'm more wondering who is buying the Decathlon bike for almost 10,000 euros over another bike.
Right, exactly. No, yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Because like, you do see now an increasing amount of people on Van Rysel bikes, but I don't think it's like the top model.
It's not a top model,
you know.
Yet, maybe.
Like, they buy maybe like it's like still like a carbon bike. No idea how much that goes for, but I guess it's like in the lower 4 digits kind of area. But yeah, like, if you compare, like, for 10,000, you could also buy the top Canyon Aero, which was tested together with the Tarmac, the best, like, bike. I don't know why you should get then the Van Rysel, which is like significantly heavier. The aerodynamics are probably not as good.
Right. Okay. So
I don't know who that is for.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Someone might buy it. Maybe they just build it, or maybe they're just selling it because they have to. Because the pros, there's like a rule: the equipment the pros use has to be also available to buy.
Oh, really? Huh.
So like, after like a certain time, it has to be available to buy.
Okay.
So maybe they're building it, you know, for the team mainly, but you can buy it if you want.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just, okay, I see. Yeah. Because I feel like, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. And then Tadej Pogacar was seen on like a covered up new kind of climbing bike. Like, it was still like
covered up.
You know, like how the cars, if like an unreleased car they're testing on the road, it's like covered in these like little. I
can't say I actually have seen that before.
No,
or maybe I haven't noticed it.
I do not know what it is called in English.
Okay, but it's essentially just kind of like masked or like hidden.
Yeah, like
up.
Masked, so you don't see the exact shapes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay. And it's like painted in like stripes and shapes on it that you cannot visually see like the exact shape under the paint, but you can like already test it in the outside world.
So was his like mostly the frame covered up then, or?
Yeah, it was about the frame. Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the only thing you could really just cover up anyways with it being like it has to be a safe, you know.
Yeah, and the components are not new.
Okay.
Like, so it was a new it was a new Colnago frame.
Right.
But all the other components are other brands, so.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so there might be a new, what is it called? V5 RS then coming. The current one is the V4 RS.
Okay.
So the race climbing bike from Colnago.
Okay.
It's also hella expensive.
I mean,
Italian.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we popped in. There's that story that we went to a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Like the Colnago. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kind of scream like superiority.
Yeah, and the like, it doesn't matter to Pogacar.
No, I feel like he'd do well on any given bike.
Yeah, but the V4 RS, so the current one, is like comparatively not that good. Like it's kind of heavy, not that great aerodynamics compared to the other bikes. So a new one might be due.
Okay, so this could probably this could be
so
it.
This could be it.
Yeah.
So interesting to see what comes there and who can afford it. But I think like Colnago, you know, the brand has just flair. You know, like people buy it because it's a Colnago. They also bought the old bike, which didn't have the best, like the frame didn't have the best specs, but it was a Colnago. You know, it looks nice.
You can't go wrong with it.
This is a difference to Van Rysel. Van Rysel doesn't. It's like Decathlon doesn't have any flair. Like it doesn't. It's not fancy.
Yeah, I think it's because it's like, you know, people probably think it's because it's a sports. Like I see it. It's a sports store.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like this. Like, I mean, like I have nothing wrong. I like Decathlon. You know,
yeah, but you go there because you get a good price.
It's affordable. Yeah, for me as a student, a new cyclist. Yeah.
Yeah, but but you don't like. If the bike is as expensive as all the others, like you don't necessarily need to go to Decathlon anymore.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay.
But the people will buy the Colnago because it's
absolutely.
A Colnago.
It's because of the brand.
Yeah,
exactly. Interesting. Okay. So
we will see that they, of course, I think at the beginning of the year they also Colnago released an aero bike.
Okay.
Which the team is now riding in like more flat stages. So very, very spacey looking. You would need to see a picture.
Okay. So in general, I guess an aero bike is it literally just like the AERO, like aero, like aerodynamic?
Aerodynamic.
Yeah. So what makes an aero bike an aero bike?
So like basically we're talking about the frame mainly because like the components you can just change. The frame is more aerodynamic. So you have mainly, you know, like it's flatter, elongated. The tubes are just aerodynamically shaped. You know, so reduce the drag of the frame in general.
Okay.
But it uses more material, you know, because you have like deeper, longer tubes to guide the airflow.
That's incredible.
So, but you use more material, so they tend to be a little bit heavier.
Okay.
But
yeah. Okay, that's very interesting.
But like the top bikes, now the new Canyon Aero, if I'm not mistaken, the top model comes in at like 7 kilograms.
Okay.
The UCI limit in general is 6.8 kilograms. Like no bike is allowed to be lighter.
Right.
So that is already like very light for an aero bike.
Yeah.
And it is together with I believe the Cannondale System 6 and the Cervelo S5. It is together with those, it should be the most aerodynamic bike in the peloton if nothing changed. But it's significantly lighter than the others.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is crazy.
Yeah.
In general, to explain, the brands can go like two ways basically, and different brands go either way kind of. Either you build one do-it-all bike, like for example the Tarmac SL8, already the SL7 too, so specialized. They build one bike for everything. For example, what we watched in the highlights, Primož Roglič is riding specialized. So they build one bike that is aerodynamic and light.
Okay.
But you know, you have to compromise, so it won't be as aerodynamic as a full-on aero bike. And if you would build like as Specialized also does, I forgot the name, but Specialized also builds like a pure climbing bike, still with like round tubes. So nothing
pure climbing.
Nothing for aero, just lightweight.
Okay.
Which then ends up lighter than the Tarmac, which is like the do it all, you know, aero and light.
Okay.
So it sits in the middle. And other brands go like, we build like an aero bike, which is heavier, but as aerodynamic as they can make it.
Okay.
And then build one light bike.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I feel like I feel like science has, really come a long way. Because like we're talking about like making a bicycle as aerodynamic as possible.
Yeah, you want to go fast.
I mean, yeah. But you think it's like, but at like what point? You know what I mean? This is kind of remarkable. But even like with medicine too, right? Like eventually you're gonna kind of some point where, like, is it really gonna be possible to advance this any further? Because like the bike is one thing, but then you also have the rider itself, like the cyclist, like.
Yeah, the main drag comes from the rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why cyclists should be, I guess, small, light. And like the positions
have
too,
like
that
the
you
correct
have to
position,
Yeah, that's true too. So it's just remarkable, to see all the factors and the progress that we've had. Because I feel like, especially with more modern bikes, they're gonna be more aero. But then you look back, like, I don't know, like 40, like when did all this start, right? Like when was this huge like push towards let's get more aero, let's get faster.
I think it's this like I don't know when the first aero bike came, but when like everyone started to aerodynamically optimize their bikes, at least.
Okay.
Maybe at the end of the 2010s.
Really? So it's not that long. Okay, so really not that long ago. Okay. Because I was thinking like, also I'd never really, like with swimming and stuff, they design suits to be, just like imitate like a shark skin or something like that. So it's like a smooth one way and rough the other way. And so like that way it makes it more like hydrodynamically, I guess faster. But it's just interesting with the technology.
Yeah, you have also like the aero jerseys. Some of them have like a kind of scaled.
Yeah, so I guess when the wind blows, it's only gonna like blow one way, maybe. Or how does that work actually?
I mean, you always go forward,
right? But I guess it's on. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
usually go forward.
Yeah, wait a second. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the wind, the net wind, usually comes from the front.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you go backwards.
That's true. Physics. Okay.
Yeah. We should get here some of our engineers sometime.
Yeah, we can talk to them all about this. Actually, no, that's a good point. They could probably contribute a lot to this conversation.
Yeah, I hope they go into like bike engineering. That would be nice.
There you go.
Good for the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the aero, let's start it then. Yeah, and now almost all bikes, almost all new bikes now, they are like, unless they are really like built with the goal to make it as light as possible, they might still have round tubes, but all the others are in some kind of way like aero optimized.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah, good stuff. We had another thing on the agenda.
Do you want to introduce the topic?
Yeah, big introduction. So I was just scrolling as you do.
Oh yes, everyone does it. Doom scrolling.
Scrolling on the Instagram, and you watch like one video from a dash cam or something, and then the algorithm got you.
Yep.
And then
it sinks you in pretty fast.
You get the dash cam videos. Yeah. As soon as you watch the second one, there's nothing else, and get like these dash cam videos. For my algorithm, it's then like related to like cyclists and stuff. And I was just wondering, like, I was watching like some of those videos, and then also looking at the comments, and there's like. It's internet comments. You cannot take it too serious.
No, and this is
we
true.
also spend a lot of time on the road, and also we don't especially get like friendly calls, friendly engagements with car drivers.
Never. Well, yeah, no, this is true. Seldomly, I think when they, like wave or, flick their lights a little bit, at that point, it's like, it's okay, right? But, yeah.
Like, we are not behaving perfectly on the road.
No, I mean, today.
But most of the time, it's I don't know, unnecessary from the driver's side. It's just basically like somehow car drivers feel like if they see a cyclist, they have to immediately overtake the cyclist, no matter what.
Okay.
If there is incoming traffic, doesn't matter. If there is no space, doesn't matter. If the cyclist is already going the speed limit,
right,
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you have to overtake him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old tale, But what I found a bit more shocking in the comments and so is that many people are like wishing that the cyclist gets like run over.
Oh.
And like saying
so just
or telling like the person in the car, should just run over them, or like you have a video where like a cyclist gets hit and then it's like, yeah, he deserved it or whatever.
Oh God. I feel like, okay, just because this is the internet, I feel like they are like trolling. Right?
Yeah.
But like, certainly. But surely like
the comments, like the people are probably concentrated on those videos. Like it's above average amount of like comments like this in these videos. But I still think that people think like that.
Really?
Like, like we meet like car drivers outside. Most of them are just I don't know, impatient and don't think about it much. But I also think there are like really like many people who are just like
kind of
just hate cyclists and are angry at them for some reason.
Is the mentality better in Germany, would you say? Like towards cyclists, or like the attitude?
Slightly, but probably not significantly.
But then also you probably have more developed like cycling lanes and cycling paths. So you don't really have that issue then that we face, like today, for instance, where we were next to each other and then that truck or that van or whoever, you just yelled at us. It's not, we were.
It's not that much better, but
it's okay. Yeah. All right, but yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is like you just don't take it personally. But then again, that is kind of concerning though, because I mean, if you say like this is how people think, like this is their attitude towards cyclists, that's kind of concerning. That is concerning. Actually.
I think that those people, they don't see the cyclist as like a human. They just see it like as a thing,
a target,
as a cyclist, as an obstacle on the road.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like nobody would say, that pedestrian went over a red light or something. He deserves to get hit by a car now.
Yeah.
Because a pedestrian you will always see just like as a human.
Right.
But the cyclist is like,
I think,
riding in the road, kind of like a vehicle, is wearing a helmet and sunglasses, looks anonymous, looks like half a machine or whatever. And I think there are also studies that like cyclists with helmets get observed as less human or whatever.
Oh, and so like, but like obviously we're gonna wear helmets, so
yeah,
you should wear a helmet.
But I don't think these people think about like if you say like the cyclist should be hit, it's like attempted murder basically.
Yeah, premeditated. Maybe. Yeah, no, that's okay. Wow,
it's crazy those people on the internet.
No, this is true.
But it's not like they do not exist outside too. So we have to be careful.
I'd like to see them cycle.
I don't think they do that.
No, they gonna hit myself. Yeah. Yeah. But that's too bad. Hopefully, this is why we need people cycling too, right?
We motivate people to start cycling and come ride.
Yeah, no, like this efficacy of of cycling. We're sharing the road as best we can, right? It may not be perfect always, but we're there just to also get to somewhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like people in general get much more aggressive when they're behind a wheel, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. If they're cyclists or no cyclists, they have that. They're just very aggressive.
Yeah. Like, and I think many car drivers just don't realize what kind of weapon they're moving. Like a 2-ton machine they are steering, and what kind of damage it can cause. I think people don't think about that.
No, it's true.
And what I'm very surprised, which I'm more observing here than in Germany, I would say, which was new to me, how recklessly the people are overtaking here, and also just endangering themselves. Like with incoming traffic, they will just overtake.
Yeah, I haven't seen that so often on our rides. You know what I mean? Like I don't generally. I feel like they overtake. Well, at least not like safely. But if there's no car, I've never seen an instance of like where it's been like close, like when they've tried to overtake us, and there's traffic coming this way.
Oh, I see many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll shoot. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is absolutely reckless, though.
Yeah, I cannot understand it.
I think also
I also drive.
You're cautious.
I drive a car a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Like I am in the other position a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. But you're also very cautious, and
why would I endanger myself by overtaking into incoming traffic, or if I cannot see properly?
Exactly.
Is that cyclist or whoever, might be a scooter, might be a tractor, or anything that is not going as fast as the car would go, or going the speed limit. Is it worth it? No, like the 20 seconds that I would need to wait and potentially crash into another car, but I guess it is worth it for them.
I don't know. But again, I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the world we live in.
Yeah, I don't think the discussion will reach any solution.
No, there's no
more bit of venting.
Yeah, but that's okay. I think I feel like all cyclists have this issue, but like road cyclists, particularly.
Yeah. So that's if I'm going alone, I usually take the gravel bike.
Yeah, so
I can just stay off the road if possible.
Yeah.
But in a group, it's definitely better than alone. Like you are more like a bigger force on the road. Also, you block the road more, and the people get more angry.
But at least you're more visible, though. For one thing, you're for sure
more present,
safer.
Yeah, but still,
shoot.
It's But we go on the road because it's enjoyable to go on the road.
Absolutely. And and like you said earlier, with the it's such a great way to see the landscapes and all.
Yeah.
But even on a gravel bike, of course, you can do that too. But I think cycling in general allows you that opportunity to see new things, see new places you haven't seen before.
Probably the best thing you can do is get more people cycling.
Yeah.
Like what they did, there was it's like a video you can watch. They did I don't know what country, they did some an experiment where they put bus drivers on a stationary bike, and then passed them very closely with the bus.
Oh.
So they would experience how it is to get passed by a bus very closely. So they wouldn't do that.
Right.
Because they know how it is.
Yeah. See that this I think what we're getting at is empathy here, right?
Yeah.
Like being able to put yourself into someone else's position. Like I think, with drivers, they lack the empathy, or they just haven't been in that situation, as the study was showing. So that's maybe that's what we're getting at.
So what helps, what might help is if everyone knows how it is to be the cyclist.
Yeah.
And but I would also encourage all cyclists to follow the rules as good as possible.
Yes, yield
to not to not even more provoke. What's the word? Provoke.
Yeah.
The car drivers and. Not because if they see you, breaking a rule, they're like, the cyclist, they never follow the rules, always running the red lights and something.
So yes, so we should own up to our mistakes, and we should also be, like, good.
Yeah,
we definitely need to follow the rules of the road.
Yeah,
for everyone's safety, right?
Cyclists should also like follow the rules. So we can also tell, like, if we say the cars should like follow the rules and drive safely, so do we. Yes. So do we have to?
We'll do our part. Yeah.
Some, like, I would say more in Czech Republic than in Germany, some of the rules are like very anti-cyclists already and partially don't make sense. So sometimes to like bend the rules or use like a gray area or something, always, do it safe, like be safe, is the first thing. Like one of the rules here, unfortunately, the rule is the cyclist has to go always all the way on the right, and you're not allowed to go next to each other, which already stops making sense if you're like more than, like, if you're 4 people or more.
Right.
It doesn't make sense anymore to go in one row, because it will be much easier to overtake you if you're 2-2, because you're much shorter.
Right, but then, yeah.
And to properly overtake the cyclists, you have to change the lane anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, yeah. I see their logic though.
And like in Germany or Austria or whatever, like you're allowed to go side by side.
Okay.
As long as there's space to overtake.
As long as there's space, and there's plenty of, like, usually there's
because
space.
if there is another car coming, there is not enough space anyway.
Right. So yeah, they shouldn't go anyways. Yes. Okay.
And 2 cyclists next to each other are still only as wide as like half a lane. So
yeah, no, that's kind of a silly. Yeah. But I see their logic. But then again. Oh, this would be interesting to bring up if you wanted to bring this to like a next step. You know what I mean? Like,
we should, when we go back to the court, for the Spolek.
Hey, when you're a Spolek, yeah, absolutely.
We should campaign for
like cycling advocacy.
Yeah. We will be one of the Spolek's missions.
Exactly. No, that's excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and this is like one of those things, and like one of the you should always behave as well as possible and be safe. So
yeah, like
we will ride like 2 people next to each other, if there's appropriate space, because you ride together, you also want to have a conversation or something.
Oh yeah, it's just team bonding,
But like the majority of us, at least today, has like this Garmin radar, so we know when cars are coming from the back.
Yeah.
So usually we have enough time to get out of the way and go back in one line. So usually that's not even like
it's not an issue
most of the time that we went next to each other.
Yeah.
Until a car comes and then we move to the side.
And we're really good about that actually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know about the other rules that doesn't make sense with like overtaking like cars in traffic. I looked it up before, and it's like this kind of like gray area. Like the rule is you have to overtake on the left, but if you have multiple lanes, it's already difficult. Here in Prague, almost all the intersections have on the front of like where's the traffic light, there's like the stopping line for cars, and then there's like another one for cyclists. So I guess you're meant to go all the way to the front.
Okay.
Like if you have a red light and the cars are waiting, you pass the cars and stand in the front to wait, which I think makes a lot of sense, because then you're like prominently in the front and the car knows that you're there.
Right.
And won't run you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I try to follow the rules as good as possible.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Play safe.
So I can expect the other people in traffic to do the same.
Well, and that's the thing though. Like, you can only hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Right. This is the problem. Yeah.
But sometimes the bike infrastructure is so horrible that it's very hard to adhere to the rules. and sometimes the rules are so bad that it's difficult to adhere.
Yeah, no, I see this. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So we try, but it could also be improved.
Yeah, no.
To make it easier to follow the rules if they're not ridiculous, or the bike infrastructure is so horrible that it might endanger you to like follow some sign or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like safety first, yeah. If the rule endangers you or the horrible bike infrastructure endangers you, then I rather break the rule. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it is not. It's not impossible to find you in that scenario in Prague, for example.
More often than not, probably. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else? I think that's we talked about a lot today.
What do you have anything else?
No, I need to bring the science corner back. But I think for our next episode, we should sit down and plan for that.
And maybe we can convince someone for a guest.
This is true.
Nice.
We have, again, we're a very international group.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to get one of the engineering. Yeah,
so
like
you can tell us,
contribute like an actual.
So how much did you learn about bike aerodynamics in your classes so far? Nothing. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah.
That
so
is sad.
Well then, you can go. It's what we had you here for. But if you don't know, then you can go home. It's okay. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
Just like that. Okay.
No, I'm sure they know a lot. They probably have aerodynamics 1, 2.
Yeah, right. Something like that, probably. But no, I think that was everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Let's say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Check out the last episodes if you haven't watched or listened to them yet. Check out the YouTube channel if you're not watching this on YouTube. We have currently there 2 of the bikes reviewed.
Yep.
More will follow soon. We check out our Instagram where you can see short videos from our rides and pictures and whatsoever. And ideally subscribe to everything and give everything comment for the algorithm.
Please. Yeah, no, do comment. We
for the algorithm
to hear everyone's thoughts.
Oh, that too.
Oh,
yeah. We of course to hear constructive criticism and praise.
Okay,
but also it's good for the algorithm.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, bye.
Bye.